Can you make a living as a micro-influencer with under 50,000 followers? The answer? Surprisingly, yes. Hi everyone, my name is Debbie and I'm going to share about my experiences being a full-time micro-influencer in Vancouver, Canada over the past 4 years. Some of you might already know me from Instagram where I share a lot about creator tips. However, I always wanted to try YouTube since Instagram isn't the best place for short-form content. So welcome to my very first YouTube video sharing a lot of tips and insights that I couldn't get into in detail on Instagram. And if you're from Instagram, hello! Thanks for joining me on here too. First, a little about me. So I began my Instagram account in 2017, and that's when I would consider that I took content creation seriously, although I did not think it could ever become a career. I began the page The Stylish Wordsmith, and I also created a website to do with that, but I didn't really have any content strategy. I had no idea what content pillars were. I was just posting for the heck of it, and mostly I focused on fashion, lifestyle, and travel. At the time, I was working in a corporate finance job, and just because I had a little more free time in this particular role, I thought, why not? Why not just give it a try and see how it is? And also, I wanted a creative outlet because that job was not creative at all, and I just needed something fun that I could do outside of work. Within that first year, I gave myself a minimum of reaching $30,000 over one fiscal year, and I said if I could make that, I would keep going. And let's take a look at how it went. Year one in 2021. That year, I managed to earn about $52,000, and that was actually as much as I made with my corporate salary job minus the annual bonuses. So this was huge and made me realize that I should continue pursuing this as a career since I love working for myself and I was excited to see where the industry would evolve. And I will preface this by saying that not everyone is made for freelance life. It's definitely a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of hardships and a lot of tough things that you'll have to go through on your own. But if you are someone who has the resilience, has the self-discipline, and has that drive and is able to network in a meaningful way that will get you the support you need, then maybe this is for you. During this first year, I worked with a multitude of amazing corporations such as Amazon, IKEA, Samsung, Perrier, Nina Ricci, and many others. I made a lot of money this year, and I was so surprised that I could earn this with under 30,000 followers. I think I had, honestly, maybe just 20K. I also worked with an international Korean brand that paid me 5 figures, my first 5-figure contract ever, and this was a pretty big deal. They also opened my eyes about a lot of things regarding contracts, which I will get into in a little bit. And I also realized that I was severely undercharging and that I didn't know how to negotiate. And honestly, all of this came through the kindness and openness of other content creators who are also full-time, who are willing to impart these details and tips with me. During this year, I also ended up mentoring 10 other creators, and this was a great step into the world of social media coaching, but I also realized I wasn't quite ready to keep at it, so I kind of pulled back from that aspect of things and focused more on brand partnerships over the next few years. I also learned that I sucked at tracking my expenses, and that's something that I should make more content about in future videos, because honestly, if I had proper help on how to track my expenses as a Canadian creator, it would have saved me so much stress over the past few years and even now. And if I can help everyone else to figure that out a little better, I would happily do so. Now, 2022 was crazy. If you thought that $52,000 at maybe 20,000 followers is crazy, and plus maybe 2,000 on TikTok, by the way, I made about 82-ish thousand that year, and it was close to getting to 100K, but a few deals fell through, but still amazing. I had 2 5-figure contracts, and one was $12,000 alone for 6 pieces of content plus usage rights, and that was mind-blowing to me. That was just a crazy moment when I opened that email and saw we're gonna pay you $12,000 for a 2-month campaign, and I was just like, wow, I cannot believe this is happening and this is amazing. Had a little happy dance, and the rest is history, I guess. I also partnered with a lot of great global brands that year, such as Amazon again, Fiverr, Snapple Spice, Neutrogena, Bonterra, and others. I had 4 ongoing global partnerships as well. Year 3, 2023. This year had a ton of of ups and downs, very much a roller coaster ride. However, it had a lot of good things and some meh things. So I remember this year I was panicking because first month I had almost no paid partnerships at all. I had one and it was pretty low paying. And then the second month, right on the day of my birthday, I remember getting this email from a Canadian fashion brand that I admire, and they were asking me for a long-term partnership for 3 months. And that one turned into a 5-figure contract lasting 6 months plus a lot of great clothes. And that was the start of the year, and the year got so much better. Overall, I earned more than enough. I earned about $43,000 that year, and while it was much less than the other years, I was still very grateful for all the opportunities I received. I also received a couple of UGC partnerships with both corporate brands and smaller brands, and that taught me a little bit about UGC. I admit that I'm not an expert, so please don't ask me too much. I will try to give my best tips on that if you need them. Other than the brand partnerships, I experienced a lot of success that year in terms of growth, especially when it came to Instagram. TikTok, I managed to get to about 5,000 followers, which was good enough. I'm still need to be more consistent and diligent with that platform. But Instagram, I finally started listening to all the social media tips out there about Reels and harness them into content that would actually do well on my page. For the longest time, I kept filming fashion content that never took off on my page, and I was always stressed about why isn't my content performing? Why is it not going viral? And I completely overlooked the fact that people loved my content creator tips and that those posts always did so well. I just wanted to ignore that. However, when I posted one reel sharing how much I charge as a micro influencer, and I used a lot of the tips like keeping it short, using trending audio, having a voiceover, and engaging visual hook, it went viral. It was the first one that went viral. I gained about 2,000 follows from just that post, and then I managed to, in quick succession, post quite a few more that were similar, and I ended up growing by 7,000 followers that year within 5 months, and that was pretty amazing. I definitely felt encouraged in that respect, and while the shift to content creator tips did kind of make me less desirable for paid brand partnerships, I found that I was okay with that because it was actually shifting me towards a new arena of content and a career path that I found more attractive than just paid brand partnerships. After I grew on Instagram, I also started realizing that people wanted to hear more about my content creator tips on a more in-depth level. So I actually wrote up a concept for my first creator ebook, and that was the start of something new. For this year, my top learnings were to be very careful about your contract agreements, and I was glad that I was, because when I was assertive about certain details like revisions, I ended up being able to go back to the brand and tell them, hey, I signed this contract, please don't try to push it when it comes to revisions. And I was so grateful that I made the effort to look at those contracts and make sure that they suited myself prior to signing them. So this is a big one that I want to teach a lot of my fellow creators down the road. Like I said before, this year was the one that carved a path for me in terms of content creator tips and made me realize that, hey, I'm really good at teaching this stuff and people want to actually hear what I have to say. So maybe I should create more content to do with that, and not just on Instagram, but also as an ebook or as an audit and other forms. So let's take a look at where it led me in my 4th year content creation. So this year, 2024, my 4th year, I cannot believe that I'm already here. Like, what the heck? How did it already become 4 years? But it has. And I look back at it and I'm so proud of how far I've come. I really can't believe that I've been my own boss for this amount of time, and honestly, I love it. Love it so much, and I wouldn't trade it for the world as long as I can. So I'm gonna just keep going with the flow and see how it goes. However, let's get into the highlights. So highlights of this year is that I made my first content creator ebook on navigating and negotiating paid brand partnerships. It goes over things like branding, negotiating, obviously interacting with brands, pitching brands, signing contracts, and it even goes into executing the brand partnerships and even a warm handshake at the end. A lot of things, very in depth. It also contains a lot of features like invoice templates, pitch template, a lot of things in there. And honestly, I'm very proud of what I put out, and I'm very happy that so many people have purchased it so far, especially after this Black Friday sale that I had. But yeah, I can't believe I managed to do it, and I'm very proud of what I accomplished, and I actually am excited to work on another creator book or proper course down the road, and let me know if you guys are interested. interested in that. I also started an Instagram subscription channel, and while that's something that I'm not sure if I have the capacity to focus a lot on, I was so very grateful for everyone who has subscribed to it. And even though I haven't been posting as much on there, if you're subscribed, there's an ask me anything element to it, so you can always ask me a question and I'll try to give you a great answer as much as I can. I also launched an Instagram audit service, and I've done 25 so far, and I feel like I've learned so much about how to audit other people's content and my own throughout the process, and I got so much positive feedback from this. Thank you everyone for being so kind and supportive of this endeavor, and I really hope that all of my insights help you on your creator journey. And that also led me to something else, which was encouraged by an ongoing partnership with a local company where they actually helped me set up my first in-person workshop on social media branding and audits. And I was really scared when I first did this, but man, oh man, it was so worth the effort. It went so well. I had about 12 people attend, and wow, I love the atmosphere. I love the discussions we had, and I'm very proud of myself for creating an engaging presentation that I actually will be putting online. So in 2025, maybe mid or late January, I plan to host an online workshop, and everyone here is invited, so I will be posting more details on that soon. And last but not least, I also joined a fledgling PR agency called Millennium Social as a founding partner. And this was something that I was so happy to do because it was with 2 team members so far that I absolutely adore. And also, I didn't want to be just someone starting an entry-level job. I really wanted to have the capacity to show my full expertise and knowledge in a proper position, and going in as kind of a founding partner of this new venture is so exciting that I get almost free reign with the help of my teammates on how to build up our company and our relationships with clients and other creators. This is something very exciting that I'll hopefully be sharing a lot more about on here. And earnings wise, I've only made about 30,000 this year, and that's okay. I actually am so proud that I made my very minimum amount that I set first year of doing this, because I branched out so much and was able to focus on new endeavors that I wouldn't have been able to if I had a lot of brand partnerships lined up. And I believe that these endeavors as a social media coach and PR agency founding partner person, I believe that they're going to lead to so much more success and opportunities than just being a straight up influencer, and that I get to help and meet so much more people, so many more creators than before, and that excites me so much. So to close things off, do I believe that it's worth becoming a content creator still in 2025? It's a resounding yes for me. Despite what some people might think, the content creator industry is still booming, still growing, still so important to a lot of brands, and we're still just a shadow of what could be. So I highly recommend it. There's so much opportunity out there. Even if you're working a full-time job, you might have potential as a content creator to make the side income and even make that your full-time thing down the road. And it just gives you such freedom if you have what it takes. So if you like this info and you want to know more about my content creator journey and more insights and tips I can provide, be sure to subscribe below and like and comment on other topics you'd like me to talk about. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to meet more of my YouTube community on here. Bye bye for now.